Fourth grade into math, lesson 6.5, divide using repeated subtraction. I can write an equation to represent a division problem and use repeated subtraction to solve. Spark your learning. Lisa finds 32 energy bars for the swim meet. She brings 4 bars to each meet. How many meets can Lisa go to before all the bars are gone? So we need to pull out our information. So what are our numbers? So 32. So 32 energy bars, 4 bars. And then our question is, how many meets can Lisa go to before all the bars are gone? So what is going to be our equation? 32 divided by 4 equals the number of meets she can go to. Okay? So they said you can either use counters or you could do a number line, okay? Or small base 10 blocks, right? Okay, so if I drew 32 X's and was going to have 4 in each group, I would have 4 columns, right? So 4, 5, so I have my 32 X's, and I know I want 4 in each group, so I would go ahead and draw my groups. And how many groups would I end up with, guys? 8, right? Okay, or I could do a number line. And if I did a number line, I would go ahead and draw my number line with how many little tack marks on it? 32. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have my 32 tack marks, and then I need to jump back in groups of what? 4. So going to loop by 1. I'd go back by 4. So, okay. So I'd go back to here. Okay. And then I went ahead and marked a few tack marks to help me keep in line. And then I would go back 4 more again. And then I'd go back 4 more again. And then 4 more again. And then 4 more again. And I just keep going in groups of 4 until I get back to my start. And then how many groups or stacks did I have? 8. So I had 8 jump backs. I had 8 groups over here. So my answer is 8 meets. Build understanding number 1. Lisa's swimming coach has $50 to spend on this pair of goggles. How many pairs of goggles can the coach buy? Okay, so for each pair of goggles that the coach buys, what happens to the amount of money that he has to spend? So each one that he buys, the amount of money does what? Get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, so why can you use subtraction to show this process? So basically you have this big total, right? Okay, and then he keeps buying a pair of goggles, so then some money gets taken out, right? Then he buys another pair of goggles, some money gets taken out, correct? Okay, so every single time you buy something, the amount gets what? Shorter, right? Okay, so show how you can solve using repeated subtraction. So basically, he started with how much money? No, that's how much the goggles cost. He started with $50, and then we take away 8. So this becomes a 10, and this becomes a 4. So 10 minus 8 is 2, 4, drop down. So then they want repeated subtraction. So now I'm going to do $42 minus 8. Okay, this becomes a 12. This becomes a 3. So 12 minus 8 is what? Is 4. Bring down the 3. Does he still have money to spend? Yep. So we're going to do $34 minus what? 8. Okay, so we kept on subtracting out 8 until we no longer had enough money to buy another pair. So we subtracted till there was a number less than 8. So letter D, how many pairs of goggles can the coach buy? So we're going to count how many times we subtracted out 8. So here's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times. So he bought 6 pairs, okay? And then we know that because that's how many times we could subtract out 8 before we got a number less than 8, right? Okay, so how much money will the coach have left after he buys all the goggles he can with $50? So how much money do we have left at the very end? $2. For 50 divided by 8, the whole number quotient is, so how many pairs can he buy? 6. And the remainder is, there was $2 left, right? So that would be written as 6 remainder 2. And our 6 remainder 2 would be like what we would represent when we do it in the house, right? Okay, we put the dividend in the house and the divisor on the outside. Stepping out, number two, Coach Riviera has 36 nose clips to give to members of her synchronized swimming team. Each swimmer gets 5 clips. How many swimmers are on the team? Write a division equation to model the problem. So we need to pull out our stuff. So what are we pulling out? 36 nose clips. Each swimmer gets 5 clips. And then how many swimmers are on the team? So what is my division problem? 36 divided by 5 equals the number of swimmers, right? Okay, so over here to the side, they went ahead and subtracted out 5 for you, okay? And they said the first subtraction of 5 was the first time. Then they subtracted 5 more, which was the second time. They did it again, which was 3 times. Did it again, which is 4 times. Another time, which is 5 times. Another time is 6, and another time is 7. Okay, so they did it until they got a number that was less than 5, correct? Okay, so how many swimmers were on the team? So how many times could they subtract out 5? 7. So there are 7 swimmers on the team. Check understanding number 1. There are 46 swimmers in 7 lanes. The same number of swimmers will go in each lane. Any remaining swimmers will practice diving. How many swimmers will each lane have? Okay, so we need to pull out our numbers. So 46 swimmers, 7 lanes, and then how many swimmers will each lane have? So what is going to be our division equation for this problem? 46 divided by 7. So once again, I'm going to start with 46 minus 7. So this becomes 16. This becomes a 3. So 16 minus 7 is what? 9, and bring down the 3. Then I'm going to subtract 7 again. So 2, bring down my 3. And we're going to keep subtracting 7 over and over. Okay, so we started all the way from 46 minus 7 and went all the way down and kept subtracting 7. And we ended up getting 4 left over. Which can 7 go into 4? No. So then we knew we had a number less than 7 and we needed to stop. So we need to decide how many times we subtracted out 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many times did we subtract out 7? 6 times. So that's how many swimmers will be in each lane, correct? Okay. How many swimmers will be diving? 4, right? Because we had a remainder of 4, and they said however many were left over would go and be divers, right? On your own. So you guys are going to do number 2 and 3 with your partners, and I will check it, and then you guys can move on to your homework assignment. We're going to do 4 and 5 together real quick. All right, so what am I going to do, guys? They want me to do repeated subtraction, so I'm going to do what? 46 minus 5 gives me 1, and bring down my 4. Minus 5, this becomes an 11, and this becomes a 3. Okay, so we started at 46 minus 5 and kept subtracting 5 over and over again until we got down to the bottom and we were left with 1, which is clearly less than 6. So then we went ahead and stopped. Now I need to go back and circle how many times I subtracted 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 is my quotient and my whole number. What's my remainder? It's 1 because that is what I had left over at the very end that I could not go into anymore. Okay, so we are going to do 40 divided by 7. So we start at 40, we go back 7 to 33. 33 minus 7 is 26. 26 minus 7 is 19. 19 minus 7 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. And then can you go back anymore? No, because you don't have enough. So how many jumps did I go back? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went back 5 jumps, and I had how many left over? How many do I have left over? I have 5 left over. So that could also be written as 5 remainder 5.